finding the angles and shapes and using that to determine degrees of angles. So right now we have a whole bunch of shapes, and we can use these shapes to find the angle and then use these shapes to figure out what degrees an angle is at. So first we want to talk about what is an angle. It's the how much arch of a circle fits around the vertex of a shape. So in knowing that, I need to know something about a circle. So I know that a circle makes up 360 degrees. I know that if I split a circle in fourths, I can get some reeds. I can cut it up into quarters. So I know 1/4 turn gives me 90 degrees. A half a turn, which would make a straight line, gives me 180 degrees. And then 3/4 of a turn gives me 270 degrees. And a full turn is 360 degrees. So this is a circle broken up into curve. It kind of helps me visualize without actually measuring. It helps me to estimate what an angle will be. So using that information of a circle, I can then use it to find out the degrees in my shapes here. So if you look here, I have a square. I know already from looking that a square does have a right angle in it. It has 4 right angles. So I already know that that's 90 degrees. So I'm going to try to figure out what degrees in the other shapes are. And I'm just going to start with my trusty dusty triangle. I know to have a full arch, now I'm going to use my square for an example. If I put 4 squares together, I know that this part is 90, this part is 90, this part is 90, and this part is 90. And as you can see, I've made a full circle. So I know altogether 4 squares make 360 degrees. In order to figure out what one would be, if I didn't already know, I can take 360 and divide it by the number of shapes I have, which is 4. And that would give me 90 degrees. So we're going to use that same principle when we're talking about triangles. So it takes me a few triangles to put together. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to put triangles together. Now I have to turn them so they'll fit within one another. I'm going to fit all of the shapes around one vertex of one triangle so that there is no spot left. So you're watching me fit all of these shapes around the one vertex of the first triangle, which was this one. Okay, so now I can make a full circle. I know that the full circle is 360 degrees because that's how much a circle is worth. Now, and I know I had to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles in order to make a full circle, in order to cover the vertex of this first triangle that I had. So I'm going to divide 360 by 6. And when I do that, I can really take it off and do 36 tens divided by 6 would give me 6 tens. So I know that each angle of a triangle is worth 60 degrees. So I'm going to write that on all of them. So now when I am trying to eyeball a figure and I have pattern blocks, I know that all my triangles are 60 degrees. You can continue this with all of the other shapes you have, and I might ask you to do that. But right now we're going to use this knowledge to help us determine the angle of these lines here. So I have a line here, and I want to know the angle. So I'm going to pull it down, and I'm going to use the shapes that I have here. So I have this square, which I know is 90 degrees. I'm going to put it here. And now I'm going to fill in this empty space. I'm going to fill in all the spaces here. I'm just going to borrow one of these. And I know I need to turn this triangle to fit into that empty space. So now if I know that an angle of a square is 90 degrees and the angle of a triangle is 60 degrees, I could put that together to figure out the angle of this, and it's 150 degrees. Sorry. So 60 plus 90 equals 150 degrees. That angle is 150 degrees, and that's how you use pattern blocks to help you figure out angles.